My guest today is an actress, a host, an entrepreneur, a mother, a grandmother, and even a first lady who keeps it real 100% of the time. She's Lisaraye Mccoy, and this is Jason Unleashed. Lisaraye Mccoy, welcome to Jason Unleashed.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much. I've actually been waiting to get on here because I wanted to see you up close and personal, although we're still, quarantining in separate places. That smile, that vibrancy, honey, I was here for it all. I was like, oh, he looks so handsome and just so fun and bubbly. You know what I mean? And
I feel that. Thank you so much. Well, likewise, Queen. When I have to say, when people found out that you were coming on the show, you would not believe the DMs because you were an icon. Many people in our community and across the Black community see you as this image of Black excellence, and they're like, I can't believe you're talking to Lisaraye. Like, I had the biggest crush on her growing up. How do you handle the fandom that waxes over Diamond in the Players Club?
It depends on what age they are. Because, see, I feel a certain kind of way. I get the younger guys that's like, oh, my God, I grew up on you. And it's like, oh, thanks. You're telling my age, you know what I mean? And then I get even the old schoolers that has made this movie a cult film, you know what I mean?
Right.
We like iconic Black films, Poetic Justice, The Wood, you know, as well. We have our classics that is forever there and not going to go anywhere, like Sunshine.
Right.
Pick up the phone and say, I ain't never coming home. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm forever Diamond. And so when people go Diamond, I don't necessarily go, what? You know my name ain't Diamond. Because I get people to say, oh my God, I named my child after you. And I'm like, oh my God, Lisaraye. And they're like, no, Diamond. Like, well, of course, yes, thank you. You know what I mean?
Right. You're like, I'll take it. But that movie, that was your breakout role. 1998, Ice Cube. It was, as you said, it's a cult classic, but it was like, it showed, you had video girls back in the day. You had that culture, but Players Club was something different. How did you handle what some would say a meteoric rise to success and having you become a sex symbol overnight? How did that impact your life?
It was what I came to LA for, and that's what dreams are made of. And they made an example out of me because I had heard you can walk down the street in Hollywood and be noticed like that. And I'm like, well, can that happen to me? You know what I mean? Like, what wood do I need to knock on for that to happen to me? And I put in the work. I came from Chicago as a model and an actress because I did a small bit role and came out there and said, I got to find a manager, got to find an agent, I got to get a job, I got to get in front of a director that's going to see all this talent, raw talent.
Yes, ma'am.
And I did Tupac's very last video, Toss It Up, the day before he was murdered in Vegas, which made the video a world-renowned video, you know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what Ice Cube saw me. But the director was Lionel Martin, who directed How to Be a Player.
Yeah.
So my whole intention was to get an audition for that movie doing the video. You know what I mean? So like any other video vixen, you get in where you fit in, you making your money. I too did that to pay the bills.
Sure.
I just used to lock myself in the bathroom a lot because I didn't care to really be seen to be known as a video hoe.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just need the money to take care of my kid. You know what I mean? So I didn't really care about the scenes. And you're absolutely right. When I auditioned for Players Club, it changed my life, and Ice Cube said to me, he said, I'm going to make you a star. I want you on every wall. In jail and everywhere. And I was just like, works for me. What do I got to do? You know what I mean? And I was just a pupil of his because he was like, everybody that interviews me, I want them to interview you because this is your movie.
I love that. And you were everywhere. In that time, though, when we talk about Black actresses, you can't help but also talk about colorism and how they pit light-skinned Black actresses like yourself, Tyra Banks, even Jada Pinkett Smith against our darker complected brothers and sisters. How did that work in the business back then? Did you have to deal with that at all?
I absolutely never had to deal with that because here's the thing that people don't realize. Sometimes it's not about your audition and sometimes it's just not about you.
Yeah.
It's about what they're looking for. It's about height. It is about color sometimes because they want to make sure that they speak to the masses. They don't want a whole light-skinned cast and they don't want a whole dark-skinned cast either. You know what I mean? They want to give you a little bit of all of the diaspora that we are. You know what I mean? mocha, chocolate, latte, cappuccino, whatever that is. Give it all to them, you know? And so I did not go through that, nor did I go through the casting couch thing, you know what I mean? Everything unfolded organically, and which makes you know that where you are is where you belong and where you're supposed to be.
Well, I mean, look, you trying to get in front of Lionel Martin for How to Be a Player, but you ended up in a bigger movie. So the universe has a plan, right? The universe was like, Lisa, I got you. I got you.
I don't even think that I had fun the first month of filming because I was so trying to just do everything right and just, you know what I mean, build the relationships and whatever, until the last couple of weeks. And I was like, I got a whole movie about my character. I remember calling R. Kelly because we're both from Chicago and we're both old friends. And I remember calling him saying, hey, I booked this movie and it's about, you know, a strip club and my character name is Diamond and I want to dance to one of your songs because I think it would be great for us to be in something together. And he said, hell yeah, make that happen. I said, I'm gonna put you and Ice Cube together, and did that. And for me, it just meant a lot for the first time film to be with a Jamie Foxx, because of course I was a fan, you know, to be with Michael Clark Duncan, which played the security guard then, and he wasn't even famous at this time, but he's from Chicago as well. My fellow Chicagoan, Bernie Mac, rest in peace as well. You know what I mean? So the movie for me is not only a Black cult film, but it's a personal touch to not only my career, but to me personally as well.
And that makes complete sense. And it also makes sense that you would have such fond memories because you never forget your first time, right? And moving into Hollywood though, here you are, you had to pivot, right? Because you've had this incredible career. I mean, you've gone from movies to successful sitcoms on some of the biggest networks. What was that journey like? Because Hollywood loves to put people of color in boxes, right? Oh, she played this and that in an urban film. Can she cross over and appeal to the masses and be a household name, appeal to middle America? Because you were on the CW or the WB, UPN back in the day, which was incredible because back then, Lisaraye, they had Black comedies like Whoa on television, which is so funny that they don't, back then it was a thing, but now it's like a struggle to have that happen, right? It's so backwards, but for you.
Trump unveiled all of that racism for that now.
Right. But pivoting into that genre and then that lane in Hollywood, what was that like?
I think that for me, I was so green and so new and so guided, you know, by him that I was ready to land wherever he saw fit for my path and his journey to be for me.
Praise him, yes.
And I was just ecstatic to be able to be working, to be able to go from movies, you know, because you want to touch a little bit on everything, because when you're so new, you don't really know what it is you want to do. All you do know is I want to be famous and I want to make money. Boom. But then you realize it's more to the job than just that. You know what I mean? Especially if you're making a career out of it, you know? And so and thank God I had fans like Will and Jada, because I remember going to the audition for All of Us, and Jada, you know, called me in. We had, you know, mutual friends, and she was like, I want her to come in, you know? So I went in and had that nervous energy. My paper was going like this. And she said, after I did it, she looked at me and she said, now we had been around each other. So she was like, throw the paper down and do you. Forget about the words, do you. Give me that Lisaraye stank. And it was like, oh, for real? Oh, okay. And I threw it down, and that's where the magic came. And she allowed me to trust me. And even as I booked the job, and within the seasons, Miss Debbie Allen came on as our director, and Stan Lathan was our director. I'm a true fan. I'm looking like, does she know that I am a fan? She about to direct me. And, you know, she used to always say to me, trust yourself, honey. Trust yourself, because you funny. Leave it to me to be able to edit, but you just do you. And I was like, but he got the last line. And he always, I mean, you know, I got the last line, and he always want to just overtalk me. Or she said, well, get it in. What would you do? And it was like, say no more. And so every job I've had has taught me, from movies to moving over to sitcom to moving over to series, because those two are different. Sitcom is in front of the live audience. It's different. And when I did Single Ladies was a series for VH1, which is different. You know what I mean? Even hours. and it made me realize, okay, but now that you've done all of it, where do you want to settle? So I didn't have a lot of racism or criticism, that a lot of may go through now then in my career. I didn't. I think I took everything with a grain of salt and just made everything work for me because I was just so happy to be in and to be working and to be everywhere.
Everywhere.
Everywhere, yeah.
Being people of color, we have to be exponentially better all the time, right? And especially how we've grown up, sometimes we're told that we're not good enough, that we're not going to make it. And so we have this burning, dying desire to prove these demons right here wrong. Like, nope, that's not true. Let me show you. And that translates into every facet of our lives, be it professionally, personally, in business. It's you. And that's a strength, I think.
Yeah, because when you have something that's powerful and stronger than that fear factor, then you rise. Because I left Chicago and I was a single parent. I had my daughter with me.
Yeah.
So failure was not an option. I had to make money. I had to make a living for my family. So everything else was like BS. It was like, I ain't got time for this. Yep. And coming from Chicago, from the nightlife, and I say that because my father and mother was in so many different businesses till I grew up in the backseat of my father's car. So I've seen all the pimp players, hustlers, the nightclubs. I'm in there with a fake ID. I've done it all. So when I came to Hollywood, I didn't have time to play. I didn't care nothing about the parties. I didn't care nothing about the drugs. I didn't care nothing about the relationships per se. Only the ones that was going to catapult me to where I needed to be.
Right.
I wasn't looking for no new friends. I wasn't looking for any of that. It was show me where the scripts are, the managers and the agents, and that's where I need to go. And the bank, so I can deposit my check.
That check. I feel that. You mentioned single ladies. Even now in 2021, people are like, yo, can we get that back on TV? Incredible show. Queen Latifah. Of course, look, enter a certain actress that's been a little problematic throughout the years, but whatever. That experience, though.
We all.
Yeah, I mean, look, we live and learn. Yes, we live and learn. Right. But that show was something special and unique because here you had Black women and also non-POCs cohabitating together, showing how women move through the world, right? That wasn't being...
Wait, what's POC?
Not persons of color.
Oh, well then tell me. Okay, I'm like a pay on...
White people.
Okay, there you go.
But it was those were moments on TV. What was some of the best experiences on the Single Ladies? And do you look back, when you look back on that show, how do you feel?
I appreciate that show more now than I did when I was actually doing it. And towards the latter part of the show. Because it was the show that I think I can, because we always had something going on. You know, the first season was great and we came out with a bang. You know, you had two known sex symbols in the show, Lisaraye, Stacey Dash, you know, and they all liked us equally and differently. You know, the white boys loved her because she was, you know, full up here, you know, and I was full down here. You know what I mean? So we had the best of both worlds, you know. And then when she didn't, you know, no longer want to be on the show, it changed it. And it even changed it for me because we were friends, you know, and I don't, you know, what happened with us wasn't a personal thing.
Right.
You know what I mean? I didn't take it personally, like, girl, what the, you know, a day in the life of filming. You got off on the wrong side of the track. Okay, so what? You know what I mean? It was no big deal. Everybody else made it a big deal.
Right.
And I just roll with it, you know. But after she left, and then the other darling came, which was Denise Bassey, beautiful blue-eyed self came. She was younger. So now I'm like, oh, I'm feeling a little auntie-ish. And I ain't supposed to yet, you know what I mean? So we were all supposed to be around the same age. And so it shifted the dynamics for me, you know what I mean? And although it was still a great poppy show, we gave you fashion, we gave you hair, nails, skin.
All of it.
We were the Black Sex in the City that wasn't really just all Black, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so it allowed my acting chops to get better because when you do a show year after year after year, you're doing something new every script, you know what I mean? And then we had different dynamics in the storylines that allowed me to be emotional, that allowed me to be sexy, or allowed me to be mad and funny as well. You know what I mean? I was finding arcs in my career that was like, oh, I did that. You know what I mean? Just even looking back at it. And then, we started adding other people to it, the dynamics. Oh my gosh, she's gonna kill me. LaToya Luckett, thank you. LaToya Luckett, beautiful self, came through, and then the show just started getting younger and younger. And then I start feeling more like a star because they start treating me like a veteran, like, oh, well, Lisaraye, we just, just stay in your dressing room and we'll call you when you come out. But then my presence needed to be in the show because myself and April, which played, April was Charity, that played April, she and I was just the originals, and Omar. So we had to stay in the scenes. And then I kind of felt like, y'all just want me in here just to stand here because you need my presence.
Right.
This is starish to me, you know what I mean? And so they were trying to save me as well. And then it just started becoming younger and younger and younger. And I was like, I can't relate.
Anyway. Right, yeah. It's and in Hollywood, and you know what? Hollywood does that. And it's so bizarre to me because they want to get eyeballs.
Don't fix it. No.
What's that?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
There you go. Seriously, listen to your audience, right? Sure. Okay. You want to attack. It's like America's Next Top Model. I watch that now, and those are babies on that show, right? They're like 18, 16, 17. And it's like, okay, great. I get you want to get a younger demographic, but also you're alienating an audience that is tried and true that may not be in that coveted demographic. And at the end of the day, it's about ratings, viewership, and coin. Yeah. So I don't understand. It's so weird, but that show will always have a special place in all of our hearts. That is a prime example of Black excellence because that show was slamming. But
I absolutely love it. I don't know. Do you hear a reboot? I could hear.
We're manifesting a reboot.
Yes.
You had to pivot again though, because, and what you're speaking about, Hollywood, changing. You became an entrepreneur, and you've always had an entrepreneurial spirit. As you said, your parents were entrepreneurs. You're from Chicago. The hustle's real. But a furniture line, fashion line, when did you know you had to invest even more in yourself and bet on yourself even more because Hollywood wasn't always going to be the most reliable?
Yeah, I kind of always knew, but because of my family dynamics, my father was the businessman in the family. I'm already a lot like my father. Mm-hmm. So it was like, if I do this, am I going to be too much like my father for myself and my mother? You know what I mean? So I just stick to acting. You know what I mean? I was like, let me stick to this. But I never felt, I don't want to say fulfilled, but I never felt full.
Sure.
I'll just say that, Yeah. And because I know business like the back of my hand, I grew up in the backseat of my father's car, and we've had many different businesses. So it's in my blood. It wasn't until I had my granddaughter that made me say, oh, she needs to know who I am. Yeah. I need to make more money for her. I need to put something behind and leave something behind for my kids to be able to take care of, because that's what the white folks do. You know what I mean? And so now my life is I'm looking at it differently because my mom now is getting older, and I'm seeing things in her that's making me be preventive.
Right.
And to also start some of the things instead of a will, a living trust.
Sure.
You know what I mean? I don't want her having to go through probate with anything and losing anything. Like, it's just different things as when you get older and get more mature and ripened and marinated and seasoned. And
seasoned.
That you start thinking about life differently.
Yes.
And then I was like, I'm getting older. Not going to always be diamond. I might be cubic zirconia.
You will never be a don't you ever say that. Shame on you. You will always be diamond. No, you may not be diamond, but you will for sure be platinum. How about that? But a cubic zirconia, what? Get that out of here.
What's wrong with me? I was only joking though, really.
I know.
But it made me start thinking about life differently. That I want to make money while I'm sleeping, and I want to give other opportunities because I'm used to doing that. I understood as an actress that it takes teamwork. I need the grip. I need the set design. Mm-hmm. I need the lighting. I need the writers. I need the director to make one whole show. We all need each other. Therefore, we're all important. I realized that at the early part of my career. So now I was like, when everybody is doing eyelashes or edge control or shampoo or perfume, lip gloss. I don't want to do that.
Right.
When I looked into the furniture line, I said, there's nobody that look like me here that's owners that is buying for their stores. Well, let me do that. Let me show every little girl that there's something else besides just glam to be able to go after as a business partner or as a business that you want to get into. And so I thought about furniture and my mattress line because we got to sleep well. Furniture equates to my creativity.
Mm-hmm.
I started directing a little bit and I started realizing I had an eye. And I was like, I love, as much as I only wear white myself, I love color. I love pops of color, you know what I mean? To just kind of bring things alive. And I met a partner that has been in the business for 18 years and he wanted to do something together. And I opened up my first store in the Beverly Center in LA.
Congratulations. That's incredible. And being smart enough to know, as you said, everyone does a fragrance, beauty. And it's a saturated market, right? How genius it is to have a woman of color say, well, everyone needs furniture too, right? And furniture and people from an aesthetic point of view love to decorate. They will invest in pieces and really go there when it comes to furniture.
And check this out. I have one of my little commercials that it starts in black and white. And you see the white mattress and my fingertips going over and it says, for hundreds of years, we've been sleeping on white mattresses. But now we have a choice. Sleep Black by Lisaraye.
Shut up. So genius.
When I tell you, and then I got one that says, once you sleep black, you'll never go back. And he goes, well, you do know we're talking about Lisaraye's mattress, don't you, Becky? Yeah, I do. But I love sleeping black.
That's cool.
And it was like, hey, yes. And it's true. We've always been sleeping on white mattresses, but to have a decor on your mattress when you take your sheets off for people that really want to get creative or like difference, it sleeps great. I mean, it's made very well. We got pillow top, we got cooling gel side, everything. Like I'm really involved and I really like it. Like I'm really proud of myself.
Yeah.
Like when I walked in my store and saw it, I was like, yeah, this is a piece and a part of me, and this is business, and this is Black excellence and celebrating and supporting each other, because I now am in that pool with everyone else that's like, support me, buy us, FUBU, for us, buy us, kind of thing. And it doesn't, and it can't, and it shouldn't, and it doesn't have to stop here. I want to employ people and give them opportunity, like I'm being employed myself by when they calling me saying, hey, can you do this? Can you do this? And I'm trying to collect all the checks I can, because I don't want to do this forever.
Right.
I'm a leisure kind of girl. I want to be on the beach with a pina colada somewhere.
Let's talk about life. You as a mom, you as a grandmother, being in the public eye is hard. And you are so giving and so real and so open and so authentic about your struggles, your journeys, your triumphs, your L's, the wins in your life. Last November, I watched you, Queen Mother, and your daughter Kai on Iyanla Fix My Life. And to be honest, Lisaraye, I was surprised because people don't think that a star, that someone that is beautiful, glamorous, has had this incredible career, would have to have things like that in their life that they would have to deal with or come to terms with or try to make better or fix. What was the deciding factor of you and the family going on the show? And what was the process? Because you just don't show up at Iyanla's place and talk. It's months and months and months of prep, right?
Yeah. You're absolutely right. The reason why I decided to do it is because I had been going through it for so long and so many years, and I just did not know what else to do. I had been talking to other people, other parents, therapy. I had, try to take the high road, and then try to, be the physical as well, and, girl, I will beat your butt, kind of thing, as the parent, and then I tried the distance thing, and I just did not know what else to do. And I was praying all along, I had spoken to Iyanla maybe a couple of years ago about some of my concerns that I had with my daughter. And we kind of talked about it, but when you talk in passing, it wasn't like no sit down, let's talk about it, therapeutic type of, situation. However, when she called me this time and asked me how everything was going, it was like, and I was full. And when you get full, it's only because you're tired.
Yeah.
tired of going through the same thing. Your back is up against the wall and you're ready to have and get a solution. I was ready to do the work, whatever it took. I was like, help me, you know? And so she said, I'm doing my show for the last season. Would you like to come on? Well, for me, I jumped at the chance because I'm more open. I believe in manifestation. I teach vision board workshop. I'm all into that, you know? So I was more like, my thing was like, I'm going to get them to agree.
Yeah.
Well, I knew my mother would accompany me because I was initially going for Kai, my daughter. You know what I mean? I wanted to just encourage her and give her a boost to say, you can. I will always be here to help you. You're a single parent now, and it may be hard now, but you can go. And what has happened that has made you shut down or feel depressed or feel like you don't need therapy? What and how is your mind moving? Because I see things that I feel as your mom should be moving like this, but you don't. And the end of the day, it only matters when you want to move, because I can want you to move all day long.
Right.
You know what I mean? But then there's the anger that sat in. I want her to move. She's not moving. Now I'm mad. She's not moving. Now she don't care no more. She shut down. And we doing this. Right. Well, who wants to live like that for so long? And I could not be happy about the things that I was happy about. It wasn't balanced. You know what I mean? It was like, I should be happy because I got a new show. I got this, I got that. But my home life is just wrecking havoc. And due to this pandemic, you know what I mean, which should have shown a lot of us, a lot of things, not even about ourselves, but about where our surroundings is. And I sat them down and I said, hey, what do you guys think about us going on Iyanla to see if she can offer anything different than what we have been trying in our approach, you know? And that's how I did it. And the process was a long process because we dealt with it maybe 6 months before everyone else saw it, you know, and it was a process of interviews, of therapy, having a psychiatric test, being able to have the producers question us and ask us individually what was going on and collectively. We had questionnaires, we had homework, we had stuff to read. It was, my mother was almost so turned off. She was like, okay, I'm not in school anymore, you know? So me and her would do things collectively. But once we got there, I did not know what to expect. I just was open-minded. But it was clear that when Iyanla was talking to all three of us, when my mom got to talking, she quickly looked at my mom and said, oh, Queen Mother, this starts with you.
Yeah.
You are the first one. She was like, I see it. And I'm inside going, do you? Tell her. And not just that, but tell my daughter and tell me, because I need it. And when she said to me, you are the meat in between the sandwich.
Yeah, I remember that part.
You will be the one to change it. And you know, when you're hearing things that's hurtful, and for the first time, you got to get yourself together. And I'm a strong cookie, you know what I mean? And I don't allow people to talk to me any kind of way. I believe in respect. I'm going to give it, but you damn sure going to give it too.
Right.
You know, I'm going to shut it all the way down. You know what I mean? And that's my choice. I can just leave, you know? And I felt like if she talked to me like she talked to them people on the show that I be watching, it's going to be trouble. So, you know, and that's why I was just trying to pray to just be all right with hearing everything. But I will say this. I heard some things that I had never heard before from my mother and my daughter. I heard them clearer. Even if I had heard them, they became clear to me. My defense mechanism was down. Yeah. And it put things in perspective for me. And she gave me some tools to be able to deal. Now, a month later, after everyone else have seen part 1, there's a part 2 where I go back by myself. And I will say this.
Take a moment.
She handed me my ass on a platter. She became my mentor, my mirror, my guidance, my therapist, my truth.
Yeah.
And for the first couple of days, I just wasn't there because everything she was saying to me, it was like your defense mechanism makes you go,
Right.
like wall up.
Mm-hmm.
But underneath, I kept praying, saying, you here for a reason.
Yeah.
Do the work, get the work, trust the process, trust the process. What else can happen other than you just saying, I don't like any of this and just leave? You have that choice. But for right now, go through it to get to it.
Yeah.
And that last day of filming with her, I was there 4 days this last time. The last day, everything clicked. When I tell you I didn't sleep that night, I prayed all night long to receive. And when I got there, everything she was saying was so clear because everything she had said and sold in me days before, it settled. It was okay. I came here for this help. Yeah. So it was all right because I need this. I need help. I need to be able to have a balance because, Lord, you have blessed me with so much stuff till I don't want the heaviness. I don't want the heaviness on my mother. I don't want it on me. I want my daughter to feel free so she can blossom so my granddaughter is not affected.
Right.
That's huge for me.
Right.
That's huge for me to release that. And even out of all the shit I've said, the things I've done and the things I'm learning, I'm doing just that. I'm growing. Still, and no matter what age you are, you can always grow. I always say that, but when it comes to you, you got to be able to take it and not just with a grain of salt. You got to be able to really take it and say, I'm a man up and I'm womaned up. And this whole year is about growth for me in every kind of way.
So I'm so happy for you, Lisaraye, because I know like to carry, it's heavy and to carry a load for so long and finally be free of it. It's got to be the world's best feeling. I can so identify with that, and to be able to forgive yourself,
yeah,
and not be angry because a lot of it stems from anger. You're upset with yourself, and that's why you shut down. That's why you don't want to hear. You need it. You're secretly crying out for it, but because you've erected all these walls and ways to protect yourself because you had to protect yourself.
And I was scared too. I just, when you're the breadwinner of your family, my father, it's no secret that I was a daddy's girl, and he's no longer here. I miss him. I want to talk to him. I know he's proud of me. I want him to see what I've accomplished on my own.
Yeah.
I know my mother is proud of me too, but it's hard because I really don't have anybody to talk to.
Yeah.
Tell my problems to that can really sit down and say, well, let's figure out a solution. I do that for a lot of people, but a lot of people don't do that for me. When people call you and ask you, hey, how you doing, girl? So, and they just don't pass it. It's like, I don't even have a chance to answer because you always think I'm okay because I'm strong.
Right.
I'm so strong. And it's almost like you don't even see what's going on behind these eyes, behind this smile. A certain degree, I got to fake it till I make it because I'm in front of the camera.
Right.
You don't know what's going on after I done made you laugh. Like, am I laughing or am I crying? You know what I mean? And I would read some of the comments and they was like, Lisaraye is bitter or she's spewing out. And it was like, and I had to listen and pay attention. It was like, okay, let me take the pain and the hurt out of this. Let me hear what they really say. Let me go back to that interview and see. You know what I mean? My sister and I, we had a huge falling out on my show, Cocktails with Queens.
Right, I saw that. For your birthday, yeah.
I was pissed. But the undertone to that was that I was hurt.
Right.
I was hurt that I hadn't talked to my sister and found out what was going on in her life because we've been separate. And not, like she said, not because we fell out or anything. It's just life started picking up and she had this new relationship and new life. And she is basking in it. She's like, I don't want anybody to tell me anything good or bad or indifferent. I'm having a good time right now. And I'm going every now and then, knock, 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 knock. And you ain't answering. Well, then, I don't know what you thought I was going to do while you come on my show. Because, I was going to be like, I'm going to still let you have it. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's what that was. But it was so good because she understood my pain. She got a chance to hear it and see it.
Right.
And when I got the girls, it was more so like what I said. Because I said what I said and I meant what I said. It was like, y'all don't know shit.
Right.
At all. You know what I mean? Yeah. She do, you do. I meant that.
Right.
What I didn't mean to do was to spew that on that platform.
But here's the thing, though. But that's the beauty of Cocktail with Queens, is that it's real. You know, Vivica, Selena, even Claudia was like, "Girl, look, this is a moment for you and Brat to finally come to Jesus." And like you see, you're in manifestation, law of attraction. Whoever up there, Lisaraye, wanted that moment to happen. Wanted, and that was a perfect, now looking back, that's the perfect place for it to have happened, because you had no choice but to go there.
And even Iyanla said, you're in turmoil with 3 women in your life: your mother, your sister, and your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Who's the common denominator? I was like,
yeah.
Okay. You know what I mean? But all of that played hand in hand with where I am right now. And I'm still doing the work. Stuff ain't perfect. I don't know what that even looks like. You know what I mean? I'm afraid that, do I even really want perfect? Nah, I want it just the way it is. I'm still learning. We're still going through it. They still piss me off. I'm sure I piss them off or whatever, but we family, we're blood, and we got some things to be able to work on. And that's what life is about, going through the journey and enjoying it and take the good with the bad. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
And you're a better person for it. And that's in there. And that is the gift. Moving forward, we're talking about moving forward, and so happy to have these moments with you. And I see you, I understand exactly what you're talking about. And you are not crazy. You are not wrong. You are justified in how you feel. And you taking accountability is a beautiful thing, because people will stay and stew and marinate in those negative feelings, in those weights, because out of fear, because they're afraid, they don't know that there's a better way. You had the courage to say, I want more. And now look, you're getting more. So kudos to you, Lisaraye. That you're an inspiration. I mean, I'm crying with you because I get it. I get it. Success in the future, Fox Soul, Cocktails with Queens. So fun. So fun. How are these conversations that you're having with these women, successful Black women from all facets of the business that have their own journeys, their own struggles, their own trials? How has it been healing for you?
They have absolutely checked me and supported me. I am learning a lot, because on a talk show like this, you got to stay current with current affairs. Mm-hmm. So, you know, I think Vivica is more of the political one out of us all.
Sure.
And so she educates me more so, like, did you see the inauguration? Did you see this? Did you see that he won over 70 million? And it's like, okay. And I'm almost like taking mental notes. She's like my big sister, you know, so she'll send me the questions. You have these questions, little sis, for the show today? And I'm like, no, you know, she's like, I'm gonna send them to you now. Selena is our voice of calm, a voice of reason. You know what I mean? Claudia is right. Claudia she don't mind being the butt of the joke. She don't mind being the butt, period. She gonna moderate. You know what I mean? She gonna, you know, and me, I think we all know that I'm just gonna say what is on my mind, because I'm the straight from the hip kind of person. Now, I've said some things that was taken out of context. You know what I mean? Said some things that, you know, I should have added more commentary to, hence my Halle Berry comment that I made, you know what I mean? But I didn't mean anything by it of downplaying her. I love Halle. Halle is closer to one of me and Vivica than the other girls. You know, she's an actress. She's a Black woman. She's a single parent, you know. Now, she's the GOAT. For real. You know what I mean? So it was like, no, but I heard what I heard. I said what I said. And I said it because it was like, well, did y'all hear it? You know what I mean? So it was like, tick tock, tick tock. It was like, oh, y'all didn't? Oh, okay, well, leave me out there, you know? I mean, it goes along with the business, you know what I mean? That's the reason why I took to social media after that and said, y'all are not about to make no beef on something that's not a beef. Like, and I apologize to Halle for, even if she thought that I meant any other thing than what it really was. It was like, no. I love you. I got a picture of Halle in my living room of us. Like, y'all ain't about to do that, you know what I mean? And so I don't really go and clap back at a lot of things, you know what I mean? Because I just don't feel like if you start doing that, you're going to have to start just doing that on everything. And everything. You know, it's almost like, let them talk, you know what I mean? If you want to keep me relevant by this standard or that standard or this standard, go ahead. You know what I mean? It all works in my favor. Y'all still talking about me. It's cool. I know who I am, you know? But it just really taught me a lesson too, just to say exactly and all what I mean, you know what I mean? And to curb some of the things that I'm saying as well, you know? The girls support me. They knew about my mom and my daughter and our issue. You know, we stay on the phone on our Zoom after Cocktails with Queens, and we pray together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we're meshing together and understanding who we are and who we are to the public, because our platform is building. You know what I mean? And it's growing, and a lot more people are paying attention. And just like Ayala said to me, she said, well, what you gonna do, First Lady, Grandma, Queen, Mother? And it was like, ew. So she's like, if you are all these things, what do you think you are? Because you have a responsibility. Queen, Black queen, that's a veteran, that's an icon that has been here, paving the way for others. What you gonna do?
What you gonna do?
Put it right here. And it was like, I am not acting of queen behavior, and I'm calling myself a queen. Well, then be that.
Yeah. And
it was like, let me straighten up my crown. Here I am. I'm back.
Got you together in a good way. This is so incredible. So incredible. What is, right now, if we can clear up any misconception about Lisaraye McCoy, what do you want the public to know, and what do you want to tell them and say, hey, this is not who I am?
I think my reputation pretty much precedes me. I think that everybody know I don't take no shit, which is right. I think everybody know I'm about my money and my business, which is right. I think everybody know that I'm looking for love, which is right. I think everybody know that I'm going to date equally yoked with my success as well. That's right. And I think that people think that I am feeling a certain kind of way about my career because I'm not an A-list actress. I don't. I am right where I belong. I am right where I want to be. I thought, do I want to be more famous? And I thought to myself, no, not really. I don't want people outside my house. And I don't want paparazzi outside my house. And I don't want to not be able to go somewhere and have to sneak in. I don't want that. I got just enough fame to get what I want, to be able to do the things that I want to do. I'm fine with that, because it still allows me to go to the Beverly Center and be able to have a store and be out there in the front and say, come on in, y'all. And they like, whoa, that is that. Go through the airport and it's like, I knew it was you. I saw the white. It's your voice. I'm good, because I want to do other things. Acting is not just all that I want to do. I need time to free me up to be at my store and my other locations and my jean line and do my talk show and my reality show that's coming out, and to be able to do my new series. And I got 2 shows on now. I'm on UMC's House Divided.
Yes.
I'm on BET's Family Business. I'm working, you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm blessed. And so I can't get clouded with them making me feel like I'm not of. My fans are my fans. My fans ride for me and they love me. And I have done an excellent job at staying relevant with the small body of work that I have done.